your husband anymore.
The Astronaut's Wife, one of 25 movies now showing on Sky Box Office.
Just before the break, Barry Lancaster Smith asked us to provide something to make his journey into work more interesting. So why not another wacky product from Sir Clive Sinclair? The Sinclair Zeta 3, the zero-emission transport accessory. At £130, what did he make of it?
Well, it's not exactly what I was after, but or hoping for. Rather, I think I was probably after an MP3 player, but well, it's the Sinclair Zeta 3. So I'll give it a go anyway. Here we go. Well, the basic concept is fine. You pedal along and then you engage the special device, and wind or steep hills are supposed to take you up them. It's got a little motor in it which you charge up overnight, hooks it to the front, and basically it's fixed, or it tracks on top of your front tyre. And this, in theory, is supposed to help you ride up hills. First impressions were, my God, this looks a bit big. It's quite heavy, but we'll give it a go. It looks okay. I mean, I have to say, it's not fantastically good looking, but it doesn't look too stupid. It's very, very heavy though, I have to say. Well, this product, I guess, must be aimed at, I guess, perhaps elderly people or kids or pregnant mothers, I suppose. But I couldn't see it being much of a use to them either, to be honest, unless you like riding very slowly down not very steep hills. I found it a little bit underpowered, in fact very much underpowered. Going up hills, the actual weight of the device cancelled out, I think, any assistance that it would have given you. The clip here really, for me, it wasn't really performing well enough. Every time you go over a pothole or a bump, it was likely to come off, which is not really what you want. I know it's supposed to be designed to click off easily, but at the same time, you know, you could have had one of these rubber things around the back of it, like on the top ones. The top clips are okay. It's only the back one which is the main supporting clip, which doesn't really perform very well. It didn't do what it said on the box, really. It was a very nice box, but unfortunately, I have to say, it doesn't really do it. Well, I guess the best feature would be, I mean, it's got a huge reflector on the front, and it sort of looks a little bit futuristic. You get a lot of strange looks when you're cycling down the road, but it is very noisy. It's far too heavy, and it doesn't really work.
Something to help your bike go up hills. What do you think of that, Steve?
Well, first of all, I'd like to take issue with one of the things he said, in which he said it doesn't look too stupid. Look at yourself, man.
Ridiculous, doesn't it?
It looks ridiculous.
Not very cool.
I think the promise we said would make his journey to work more interesting, and I did wonder if the producer would actually lie to him and strapped a laser printer to his front wheels, because that's what it looks like. It looks absurd. I mean, they could at least have styled it.
Yeah, and he was on a street where there were no pedestrians, wasn't it?
A
Do you think
design
that was
conscience
deliberate?
issue, yeah. But I think the biggest thing, aside from the fact that obviously the power delivery isn't right because it doesn't seem to be, if you're an urban cyclist now, and you know how fast anything will get stolen off a bike whenever you stop. When you stop, you lock up your bike, you probably remove the front wheel, then you have to take off. Already you have to take off the cycle lights, the pump, probably the speedometer computer off the right. You've got to take all that off and carry it with you. Now you're going to take off this thing and carry it with you as well?
Well, I think actually this one has got a hole in it that you can attach to your lamppost as well, but that means another lock,
Another lock. You've got to lock the front wheel up separately. I think that the palaver of that alone, even if it actually worked in terms of power delivery, I'm not sure that it would be worthwhile.
Yeah, what
for
about
most
the power
people.
delivery?
It sounded disastrous, you have to say. I mean, I noticed that we had him filmed going uphill there.
Wasn't a very
Less than
steep hill,
walking
was
pace
it?
as far as I could see. And he was still pedalling, so I'm not quite sure what it was doing. But it certainly wasn't helping him.
Can you see anything positive about this, Bob?
Yes, I think you're being horribly unkind.
I'm so
dear.
sorry, Bob.
What's good?
Well, firstly, the innovation. Top marks for innovation.
It's a good idea,
It's
isn't it?
inventions like this that move on to other inventions
Which do work.
which do work. I mean, it's a pity it doesn't work that well, but come on, you know, you don't know what's going to come from this. From small acorns, remember the saying. So I think there's going to be a lot of potential for the future.
Nothing
Can
small
you
about this
see
acorn.
people using this sort of thing, do you think, Kath?
Not this one in particular, but there is a slightly more expensive one on the market called a Zap Kit, which is much more stylish, much lighter, and it's silent as well, and it does actually work. I mean, I couldn't use this seriously without laughing hysterically all the time. But yeah, I think I agree with Bob. This will move on. This is
And
the
actually,
future.
it's a bit of a pain at the moment having to take it inside and charge it up, isn't it? Do you think there's a mileage that you could actually maybe charge it yourself one day by pedalling?
The dynamo.
That's
Yeah.
what
The
I'm
dynamo
saying.
system, yeah, possibly. It depends. I mean, he did mention that he thought it was aimed particularly at people who are finding it a bit of a struggle to cycle anyway. They may not want the extra pressure because the dynamo is, you are after all charging it up. I think that, yeah, I agree. I've seen the Zap Kit as well. Much smaller, much neater. The looks are important. They are if you're going to have an accessory onto a bicycle.
Yes.
Bicycles are very personal things as well as being thing. But mainly, I just can't imagine locking that up in town and expecting it to be there when I came back.
Right, so what did Barry think of it?
Does this product represent value for money? Well, I'm afraid it doesn't, no. It's back to the drawing board, Sir Clive. Because I don't think this is going to be a hit. This is an ill-conceived product. Absolutely no way I would buy this product. I give the Zeta 3 a resounding thumbs down.
Oh well, another not-so-happy customer, Sir Clive. Now, don't forget, if you want to be a road tester, get in touch. The details are coming up at the end of the show. Time for today's last tester. His name is Sunir Sood, and he's a passionate gadget and Star Trek fan who likes all things to do with his PC. Let's take a look at what he wants.